Hey, what's going on, guys? It is Vexian, and today I'll be showing you guys the best settings for Rainbow Six Siege. Let's get into it. Alright, before we start, this video helps you out in any way. Like the video. Help me out a lot. Help the algorithm. Trying to hit 2K before the end of the year as well, so maybe subscribe if this video helps at all. So let's jump into it. So, starting off, we're going to go to our settings. We're going to go to options. So, general. This is going to be a lot of personal preference here. In general, everything else is a little bit more kind of concrete, if you will. So going on, I have my squad privacy and invite only. Again, just going to go through these really fast because these don't really matter. I have ping on, display game info. This is going to be the bottom left of your screen. You're going to have kind of like just an infographic where it's like, yo, look, game info is what it is. Cycle inside camera groups. So instead of cycling through all the cameras at once, you have different groups for your cameras that you can use with your number keys. So it'll be like group 1 is val cams, group 2 is default cams, group 3 is 0 cams, so on and so forth. Drone after prep. This is when you're after prep phase. You can kind of do whatever. So I have mine on automatic. You can have whatever you want. Honestly, probably putting it on manual is pretty good, or semi-automatic. PC chat, this is all. So again, drone after prep, and that's kind of like way more up to you. And this is the one I'd recommend looking into. I personally have mine automatic, but you can have it on semi. You can read what they do here. PC, I have also run PC chat. Put it on all. It's nice to talk to the enemy team. So next up, we're gonna go into audio, spoken language English for operators that say things. Menu and subtitles, I also have in English because I read English. Subtitles I have off. These could be good to have, but I have them off personally. Master volume 100%, max volume, so you can have the best chance of hearing things. Music volume I have at 0. Music is going to be just the menu volume. I have it off. I don't really use it that much. Also, I listen to my own music. Dialogue volume. Dialogue volume is what people say. So like what operators say. This could be useful. Say if you can hear an enemy say something, so it is useful in that aspect. Also, I believe dialogue volume is tied to footstep volume, which is weird. Or it used to be like that. I'm not too sure if that's the case now. I have my dynamic range on high fidelity. This is going to just elevate all the sounds across the game. So from quiet sounds to loud sounds, they're all going to be boosted. Whereas TV is everything's kind of like really flattened and everything's kind of equalized. And night mode, where quieter sounds are increased, where louder sounds are decreased. A lot of people play on night mode for hearing footsteps. I play on hi-fi because I like hearing everything. Voice chat volume is at 100%, so I can hear people. Mute on unfocused. So this is kind of when like the window is like windowed and you're on a different window. Can't hear. Push to talk. This you push a button to talk. Voice chat record. I have mine at 100 so people can hear me. And then threshold is at 20. So yeah, this is kind of what it is. I just have mine at 20. So moving on to display now. So this is gonna be kind of totally indicative of like what you have. But first of all, I'd put it on your highest refresh rate monitor. If it's 70, 144, 165, whatever it may be, put it on your highest refresh rate monitor. This is going to be the most accurate, and Siege, FPSs in general, really kind of require high refresh rates to play properly. So you have the most information being streamed to you at all times. My resolution is 1920 by 1080. Put it on the max resolution that you have or whatever you want. I play in full screen. This is going to unlock my monitor to 240, and I play on 240 hertz. This is the max refresh rate monitor allows to offer, so I play on it. Aspect, I play on 5.4. 5.4 is going to make everything look quite larger. I'll probably throw up a screenshot here on screen right about now, kind of displaying what 5.4 looks like. 5.4 is kind of going to lower your visual fidelity a little bit because it's stretching the image out, but in return, things are going to look larger, so it's going to be easier to spot someone to shoot them. VSync I have off. If VSync syncs your frames to your monitor refresh rate, it's actually not that good. There's some latency and some input lag, so don't do it. Widescreen letterbox off. This is where you have black bars for more cinematic experience. I don't like it. Squishes your game in a weird way. Doesn't look that good. My field of view is 84. This is what you want to run on anything that's a one-time scope. It zooms in just enough, but not too much. If you don't want to run 84, you can run 90 or whatever. This is all personal preference. I personally run 84. Also, I just got to follow. Sick. Even though I'm recording. So, moving on to graphics. This is what you guys are all here for. Siege doesn't actually require that much to, run in kind of any aspect. So, what I mean by that is you don't have to run a, crazy amount to run Siege, which is super nice. So, overall quality, I have custom. Texture quality, I have high. Anything higher than high, very high, is going to be a little bit intensive. So I run personally high because it doesn't take that much and things look fantastic. If you have a nicer GPU, if you have 8 gigs, honestly, do very high. I run very high on other accounts. On this account, I'm running high. It doesn't really matter because this game doesn't take a lot to run, and you're not going to notice a huge difference. But from very high to high, it is 2 gigs of VRAM. So that could be kind of if you don't have a lot of VRAM, which you should be able to. It's like 2020. I think most GPUs ship with around 4 to 8. But if you don't have that much to spare, run on high. But again, very high, another option. There's going to be maybe a 10 to 20 frame difference between high and very high. But honestly, it's kind of negligible over the course of the game. So it just really depends. Texture filtering, I have anisotropic 16. This doesn't really matter. It's the slowest, so it might take, if you have a little bit of a lower end GPU, it might take a hit. So in that case, you're going to run linear. This is going to be the fastest. LOD quality, this is the distance at like when lower detail is rendered in. I mine on ultra. This actually doesn't really matter a lot. You're not going to know a huge like performance difference because of it. My shading quality is on ultra. This is going to be like the shading of things and objects and gradients. Again, very unintensive. Siege is an incredibly unintensive game, so even at max settings, I'm getting like 240 frames on a 2070 Super, so it's not that big of a deal. Shadow quality is at high. This is actually really important. If you have low shadow quality, you're not going to be able to see shadows in real time. So shadow quality on high is going to allow you to see shadows and dynamic shadows. So if someone's pushing, you can actually see their shadow before you see them. Therefore, you can have an advantage and take gunfights. Reflection quality, I have mine at high. This is because I don't know, I just like how it looks. You don't need to have it on high. Image occlusion, I have mine on SBC. You can have yours on SBC plus. It's a higher quality version of SBC. This is just to make it look nicer, but it provides soft shadows to nearby surfaces. Is basically what it does. It just makes the game look nice. I'm on an SBC. Again, you can run SBC plus. I'm probably gonna put it on SBC plus. It just makes things look a little bit nicer. Lens effect, I have mine maxed out. This is going to be a little bit kind of distracting. There are some like headgear in the game. There are some charms that are very like bright. So I'd honestly turn this down to off if you want the game to look nicer. But it's not gonna have a massive performance impact on your game. So again, use discretion there. But I highly recommend putting it off because it is a little bit distracting. I only have mine on because I like how the game looks. But if you're really going for frames and visibility, turn this off. Zoom in depth field. So when you're aiming in, this is gonna blur the things outside your scope. Don't do that. Bad. Very, 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 very bad. So turn this off. Have this off at all costs. Anti-aliasing, I went on TAA. It just kind of depends. I think this has a massive, like a way more like impact on your frame rate than texture like quality. So I have mine on TA. This is just because I like my frames, but some people put it on. There's that TA4. I just have mine on TA. You can also turn yours off. Adaptive render scaling FPS. I'm not really too sure what this does. I just use mine at 0. Render scaling, I have mine at 50. This is going to lower the quality of the game, but this is going to make things look a little bit nicer. So if you're, say, have yours at 100, then turn by 1080. And then TA sharpness, I have mine at 50. Again, that's nice. So that's kind of what I'm running. I'm actually going to put my render scaling up at 100. I didn't know it was this low. This is, again, not going to make a huge impact, but I feel like this anti-aliasing is going to make the biggest impact on your frame rate. And then for visibility, one more thing. Also, another thing that's nice to have, texture quality. You can just run it on low. You're going to see things like smoke. Smoke's going to be rendered a little bit more transparently, meaning that you can see through it easier. Fun little fact. So if you want to run that to get an advantage, go for it. But I'm going to be running mine at high because I just like the fidelity of the game. I like how it looks. Game actually looks really good for being 5 years old. Controls, this is all up to you. I run personally 8.8 on 400 DPI. The slower the DPI and vertical and horizontal sense, the more accurate you're going to be because you have more control. And then here are my magnifications. I'm going to scroll through it really fast. If you want to run mine, this is what I run. Obviously, do your own research to find out what you think is good for you. And then here's what I have. I have mouse scroll disabled. This is going to disable mouse scroll. Trust me, you'll thank me later. Gather deployment, I have it on advanced. Drone deployment, I have it on advanced. Both these are really nice to have. Aim, I have on hold. Obviously, this is personal preference. I prefer hold. Lean, I have on toggle. Sprint, I have on hold. You just gotta go through these real fast. Crouch, I have on hold. Prone, I have a toggle. Walk, I have a hold. So it's, again, all up to you. And this is controller, so I don't really need to get into that right now. And then accessibility, I have my color presets. This is custom. I have mine on green. Green's going to give you the fastest reaction time because it's such a vibrant color against all backgrounds. My opacity is 100, and then this is all chat preferences. Chat skills at 100. Background visibility transparent. I wonder if I could turn this off. I can do 50. So I'll probably just keep mine at 100. You can even have yours at 200. I'm gonna keep mine at 100. Chat. This is for how it looks. You can put it on the like opaque, the semi-transparent, and then this. So when your chat's kind of going. So these are my settings. This is what I run. This is what I recommend running as well. Again, I really go through your graphics and see what works for you. High is going to make your game look better, but low is going to make it easier to look through smoke. So basically the takeaway here. So if you guys enjoyed the video, if this helped you out at any, like, comment, subscribe. Trying to hit 2K before the end of the year. That's about it, guys. So see you guys later. Peace.